Coming up on Mountain News this morning, former President Joe Biden pardoned his family and other notable figures on his way out of the office yesterday. And 3 unrelated shootings kept Harlan County officials busy over the weekend as they now stress safety in the community.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. My name is Amelia Lee here with you on WYMT. And the time is 6:30 now, so we are just 30 minutes away from 7 o'clock. We're also right at that time to check in with meteorologist Megan Dusmall for a look at your forecast and know what to do when you hit the door today. I guess don't hit the door. Get out of it.
Yeah, get out of it.
And then go on your way to work this morning. But I would say a coat, maybe some gloves, maybe a scarf.
And definitely a scraper. Today is definitely one of those days that you might need to be scraping your windshield. Now, it's cold, and if you don't believe me, here are those current temperatures. We are looking cold across the board. Looking at 9 degrees in Hazard, Jonesville, 0 in Clintwood, 2 in Grundy, and we're just going to continue to be cold as we're going through the next couple of hours. But as we head into the afternoon, temperatures will be warming up, so there's some good news. Now, the bad news with these temperatures is that we do have the winds picking up, so the wind chill will knock those down a couple more degrees, making it feel like we're in the teens for most places in the area. Some places could feel even colder. Here's how we'll get to the high temperature, though. It'll occur around that 4 o'clock mark, starting cold and ending cold. Now, tonight is when you're going to have to worry the most about those overnight low temperatures getting quite close to 0 in a lot of places. Now, for satellite and radar, this is what you can expect for this morning. Nice and cloudy, and we do have a chance of snow as we're heading into the afternoon, but this is a very slight chance. Nothing to be too crazy about. Amelia?
All right, Megan, thank you. The Senate Monday night voted to confirm Marco Rubio as Secretary of State. It came only hours after President Donald Trump's inauguration. Rubio, the former Republican senator from Florida, becomes the first cabinet official for the new Trump administration to be Senate approved. Rubio's nomination to become Secretary of State was overwhelmingly bipartisan. Rubio called it a great honor to be confirmed by his former colleagues. Republican Representative Michael Waltz officially resigned from Congress yesterday morning, according to a notice read from the House floor. Waltz is Trump's incoming national security advisor. Without Waltz in the House, the margin for Speaker Mike Johnson is now only 3 votes. There are 218 Republicans and 215 Democrats, one of the thinnest majorities in history. The Department of Justice announced Donald Trump named James McHenry as the acting attorney general. He will serve in the role until Trump's nominee for the job, Pam Bondi, is confirmed by the Senate. Just minutes before leaving office, President Biden pardoned 5 members of his family, 3 siblings and 2 of their spouses. In a statement, Biden wrote he did it not because they did anything wrong, but because he feared political attacks from President Trump. Earlier, Biden also pardoned Dr. Anthony Fauci, retired General Mark Milley, and members of staff of the January 6th committee who investigated the assault on Capitol Hill.
They pardoned a lot of people. They pardoned, before we even get to today, they pardoned, 33 murderers, absolute murderers, the worst murderers. You know, when you get the death sentence in the United States, you have to be bad, because they don't give it much.
President Trump also pardoned all people indicted over the January 6th riot. Transportation Security Administrator David Pekowski stepped down after Trump officials asked him to leave his post. Yesterday, just before noon, TSA workers got a message from Pekowski saying Trump's transition team told him his time as administrator would end at noon. Homeland Security officials had expected Pekowski to stay in the role. President Trump picked Pekowski to serve as head of the TSA in 2017. A first legislative win in President Donald Trump's return to the White House is in motion after the Senate passed the Laken-Riley Act on Monday. The legislation requires the Department of Homeland Security to detain undocumented migrants who are charged with certain crimes, including theft and burglary. It was named after Laken-Riley, a college student who was murdered by an undocumented migrant from Venezuela while out on a run in Georgia last year. The House is expected to pass the bill later this week, which will then send it to the president's desk to be signed into law. There were 3 shootings in Harlan County over the weekend. WYMT spoke with Kentucky State Police about the incidents, which they say happened within 24 hours. The first shooting happened at approximately 1:30 Saturday afternoon. Police say there was a domestic dispute between a father and son. When they arrived, officers say they found the father, 63-year-old Charles Allison, dead outside the home. The son, 37-year-old Charles Allison, was found dead inside with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. If you are suffering from domestic violence, Trooper Shane Jacobs says there are resources for you.
We don't want you to ever feel that there's no help. There is help, and we want to help you. And the Kentucky State Police is willing to give you all the resources that we have to help you, assist you in any way.
In the second shooting, police were called about a domestic dispute between a couple. The husband, Johnny Simpson, told officers his wife, Samantha Simpson, shot him in the face and body. Officers say Samantha died at the hospital, a result from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Johnny was taken to UK hospital. The second shooting happened on Sunday at approximately 1 in the morning when police say a man shot an 8-year-old. The shooting happened in the Bledsoe community. Officials say the child was first taken to Harlan ARH. She was later transferred to UK hospital for treatment. Trooper Shane Jacobs stresses the importance of gun safety. He says if you do own a gun, you should be cautious when handling and cleaning the firearm.
If you have a weapon inside your home, please make sure that weapon is locked up at all times, and if you do have it out, please exercise gun safety and do not point that at any direction that it may be fired and strike anyone inside that residence.
Trooper Jacobs says at this point the child appears to have non-life-threatening injuries. 34-year-old Andrew Sundberg of Irvington, Alabama was arrested. He is charged with wanton endangerment. Kentucky State Police Post 10 Commander Captain Danny Cottle made a statement regarding the 3 shootings. Cottle says in part, quote, our personal strive to provide quality services to everyone we serve. We've had a very busy winter already. We will continue to put 100% effort into serving our district. He continues by saying, quote, while these shootings have occurred in a short period of time in the same community, we've had similar events across the 3 counties we serve. Trooper Jacobs adds that these shootings were not connected.
It's just unfortunate that these 3 occurred within a 24-hour period. This is not typical here in Harlan County. We have a very good county here within our post area, and it's just a sad situation that this occurred.
We have details on all 3 shootings on the WYMT News app and WYMT.com. Also in Harlan County over the weekend, officials say there was an arson arrest. 24-year-old Gordon Foltz is in jail as part of an arson investigation. KSB says Foltz was connected to multiple fires in the Cranks community that happened at approximately 3 o'clock on Sunday morning. State troopers say Foltz ran from them after they caught him trying to light a fire. Trooper Jacobs says the fires happened in abandoned structures.
We just urge the public to be aware of your surroundings. If you have abandoned structures around your residence, please look out for your neighbors. If it's not yours, but please look out for your neighbor. If you see something, say something.
Officials say when Foltz was put into the car, he started to kick the windows. He was taken to the Harlan County Detention Center. Foltz faces a slew of charges, including arson, fleeing and evading police, and resisting arrest. And finally, in Harlan County, a church was damaged after a burglary over the weekend. KSB says they were called to Christian Fellowship Church in Everett on Sunday. Officers found damage to the church, a van, and an outbuilding. It reportedly happened between Saturday and Sunday morning. Officers say church members are offering a reward for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of those responsible. Anybody with information should call state police. A man was arrested after a domestic violence incident. Officials with the Laurel County Sheriff's Office say 34-year-old Andrew Hung of Corbin reportedly threw a woman on the ground. Hung was arrested off Cliffsview Lane at approximately 5:30 Sunday evening. Officials say 2 children were there during the incident. Hung was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. Also in Laurel County, deputies were called to a complaint of a possible domestic violence incident. 46-year-old Tommy Eastridge of London reportedly got into a verbal altercation that turned physical. Officials with the Laurel County Sheriff's Office say Eastridge pushed a woman into a door and then picked her up and slammed her down. He left the scene but was found and charged with assault. He was taken to the Harlan County Correctional Center.
Looking mostly cloudy this morning, but towards the end of this satellite and radar loop, looks like we do have a little bit of snow that could be falling towards Harlan this morning, but the main chance that we do have for some snow will be as we're heading into the afternoon hours, around that 1 o'clock hour towards our more westerly counties. Now for those current temperatures this morning, here's what you can expect, mostly in the single digits, seeing some places above 10 degrees, but for the most part still staying quite cold for today and as we're heading into the afternoon. Now, one more thing to note though, our temperatures may be cold, and that's because we're colder than those temperatures in Anchorage, Alaska. So definitely believe me when I say that it is chilly here in eastern Kentucky. Now, if you're heading off to the bus stop this morning, it's going to be cold, looking in the single digits on the way to school with those cloudy skies. And as you're heading home, we're looking in the low 20s with feels like temperatures even colder and the slightest chance that you could have some snowfall. Amelia?
Thank you, Megan, and thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:40. Still to come on Mountain News this morning, natural disasters like the LA fires can often bring a double whammy. The devastation from the actual event and then months of lost tourism to the area.
You're watching WYMT.
To many, home is a place, but to us, home is a feeling. The feeling of comfort and trust. The feeling of being cared for by those who know you.
Hi, I'm Trent Noah, and I'm a graduate from Harlan County High School. I am so excited to start my Division I career where home is cheering me on. Things are just better at home, and home is ARH. ARH, more for Appalachia.
Imagine being free from the pain normal exercise can cause. Introducing the teeter-free